What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. And today I'm wearing John Stockton to today, 1997, the 50th anniversary. So, the Norm Nixon Byron Scott trade in 1983. Norm Nixon and Jerry West did not see eye to eye from day one, okay? Just like Ralph Sampson and Bill Fitch never saw eye to eye from day one, okay? But reportedly there was some friction brewing between Magic and Nixon. It was believed that Norm Nixon didn't want to surrender control of running the point. And there were Los Angeles reporters where they said Magic would very, very reluctantly give the ball to Norm and let him bring the ball up court, okay? And so it was also reported that there was jealousy that went beyond the basketball court. The competition between Magic and Norm just wasn't on the basketball court. It was off the court, if you know what I mean. Quote, off the court, aka women, romance. Jerry West said that Norm Nixon was one of his favorites, but Jerry West also said that he made some silly, dumb mistakes. And Norm Nixon would often counter that by saying smart things that got under Jerry West's skin, okay? And I forget the Lakers teammate, okay? I forget the name of the Lakers teammate who, after Norm Nixon's rookie season, he recalls Norm Nixon saying, like the day after the 1979 season ended, Nixon reportedly said that I put up with West bullshit for a full year, but I'm not putting up with none of his ish no more, okay? And Jerry West rode Norm Nixon hard as a coach, but then he moved into the front office, okay? But Norm was a all-star, and he was a two-time NBA champion, which kind of doused, which kind of covered up, everything. James Worthy says he considered Norm Nixon a mentor. Norm Nixon did have a fiery personality that clashed with coaches, teammates. So by the time the 82-83 season rolled around, the Lakers were the defending champions. There were trade rumors that always followed him around. And so Norm Nixon didn't know it at the time, but Jerry West, it was reported that Jerry West actually believed that Nixon was using illegal drugs. And so I mentioned the other day that the Detroit Pistons were keeping an eye on William Bedford to see what he was doing. And it was reported that Jerry West had people following Norm Nixon, what he was doing when he was out and about, keeping watch on his home, just keeping tabs on everything he was doing, because they believed he was using illegal drugs. And the Lakers actually hired a PI to follow Nixon. And Norm didn't know it, but when he found out about it, he was kind of shook. And it was rumored that Nixon told the Lakers he wanted it out, and because West wanted a better defender and a better shooter. Okay. And so there were trade rumors to the Clippers, Nixon to the Clippers. But it was during the '83 preseason where Jerry West told Norm Nixon, "Hey, just relax and play, okay? Relax and play." But Jerry West also saw that Magic needed to have the ball, bring the ball. Magic needed to have the ball full time, just not part time, okay? So Jerry West knew that Magic Johnson needed the ball in his hands to bring the ball up court. So it was during the '83 preseason where West traded Nixon to the San Diego Clippers for Swin Nader and Byron Scott, who wasn't signed yet. Okay. So Byron Scott recalls a trade. He says that Cooper, Magic were really giving him a hard time, pushing him around, throwing elbows and whatnot. Then it was one day in practice where Cooper threw an elbow at Scott. And Scott said, "Hey, if you throw another elbow at me, I will throw one back at you." And then that's when the Lakers began to accept Byron Scott. And he said, and as Byron Scott tells a story, he says that Magic and Cooper said that Byron Scott passed the test and he got straight A's. So Magic, Cooper, the Lakers accepted him because they weren't happy about the fact that Nixon, who was their guy, got traded to the Clippers, just like when the Rockets won back-to-back NBA titles. The Rockets weren't happy that their guy, Otis Thorpe, was flipped to Portland for Clyde Drexler. And the only one on the team who was happy about the trade was Hakeem Olajuwon, who had played with Clyde in college. Okay. But the rest of the Rockets were like, I don't know. I don't know about this guy. I don't know about this guy. And not only that, Drexler was actually cutting into Vernon Maxwell's minutes, okay? And if you watch the documentary Clutch City, the Rockets actually sent Vernon Maxwell home, okay? They just sent him home for the playoffs after game 1 of the Utah series. They just decided to send him home, okay? So, nonetheless, Nixon in '84, '85, '86, first 3 seasons with the Clippers averaged 16.4 points and 9.5 assists per game. His first 3 seasons, but he missed 1987 and 1988 with knee and Achilles injuries. Byron Scott, 3-time NBA champion, played 10 years with the Lakers, 11 years when he returned to the Lakers in 1997. He averaged a career high 21.7 points per game. Okay. In 1988, like I said, 3-time NBA champion. 3-time NBA champion. And I just want to throw this in here as well. Byron Scott talked about a story. Byron Scott talked about a story during the 1993 season, his 10th year in LA. So Byron Scott said he had an ankle injury, okay? And they were playing, and the Bulls were playing the Lakers at the Forum. So the Lakers finished their shoot around, and the Bulls come in for their shoot around. And so Michael Jordan passes Byron Scott on the way to the shoot around. And so Michael says, "Hey Byron, I hear you're not playing today. You might be out." So then Byron is like, "Nah, man, I'm not playing. I have an ankle injury." So Who's going to be go? Already me, my height says. So then Byron Scott went like, Anthony Peeler. And then Jordan went at like 50. You know what? Michael actually had 54, okay? Oh, yeah. Michael had 54 that game, okay? The Lakers won the game, okay? But Michael lit up Anthony Peeler that game, okay? Michael lit up Anthony Peeler that game. So, anyway, so I saw a story on Clyde Drexler I saw a story on Clyde Drexler a long time ago in Slam magazine, okay? And it was talking about the people who were selected ahead of him in the 1983 draft, okay? So, of course, Ralph Sampson had a solid career. Steve Stepanovich, Rodney McCray, Byron Scott, Sidney Green, Thurl Bailey, Antoine Carr, Dale Ellis, Jeff Malone, Derek Harper, Darrell Walker, and Watley. And then Drexler went 14th to Portland. What was it? Yeah. Okay. Then guys like Howard Carter, John Sundvold, try to pronounce that. Leo Riotius, can't pronounce that. Randy Brewer, John Paxson, Roy Henson, Greg Kite, Randy Whitman, Mitchell Wiggins, and Stuart Granger. Also notable players of note in that draft: Sidney Lowe, Mark West, Doc Rivers, Craig Elo was in that draft. Darren Day was in that draft. Manute Bol, believe it or not, was actually drafted by the San Diego Clippers that year in the 83 draft. He went in the later rounds, I believe the 5th round, but he was like a 5th round draft pick of the San Diego Clippers in 1983. But Manute Bol didn't play for the Clippers. He started his career with Washington for the 85-86 season, okay? So, I saw a story on Clyde Drexler, and the title of the article was Going Off, okay? And it was talking about some of the players that went before him, okay? And they were talking about specific players like Steve Stepanovich, who went number 2 behind Ralph, okay? And Stepanovich, he averaged around 13, 14 points a game for his entire career. Played with Reggie Miller for 1 year, 87, 88. Then he retired after blowing out his knee. Missed the entire 89 season, then was forced to retire. So they were talking about guys like Steve Stepanovich, and they were talking about guys like Russell Cross, who played only 1 year. Russell Cross, who got drafted by the Golden State Warriors, played only 1 year. And so guys like Howard Carter played 2 years. Stuart Granger, who played 3 years. But yeah, they were just talking about guys who were in the first round who went ahead of Drexler, and they were targeting those guys. And the name of the article was Going Off, okay? And I guess going off meant, you mean to tell me these guys got picked ahead of Drexler? You mean you had guys like Steve Stepanovich go before Drexler. You had guys like Russell Cross going after Clyde Drexler or before Drexler. You had these guys, okay? Hey, man. It's like Slam Hager. It's like the article was saying, I cannot believe that Steve Stipahonovich and Russell Cross went before Clyde Drexler. Okay. Now, I can see Ralph Sampson going before Clyde Drexler. I can see guys like Rodney McCray, Byron Scott, Sidney Green, Thurl Bailey, Big Dog, Antoine Carr, Dale Ellis, Jeff Malone, Derek Harper. Okay. Pretty good players who played multiple years in the NBA. But yeah. It was like the article was saying, you picked Russell Cross and Steve Stipahonovich, okay? And I remember reading that article. It said, one of the things I read in that article, it said, at least Steve Stipahonovich had a solid career before blowing out his knee before the 89 season. So, yeah. But yeah, couldn't believe guys like Russell Cross and Steve Stipahonovich went before Clyde Drexler. But hey, the NFL draft is a crapshoot. The NBA draft is a crapshoot. No. All right. That's it. That's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. Peace out. God bless.